And we're back. Okay, as I was saying, we have a very, very special guest about to join us. She is has an unbelievable wealth of knowledge and research about intimate relationships. She should be joining us in just one moment. She's someone I have learned so much from in my life about intimate relationships. Let me see if I can get her, to join. Aha! It worked.
Hi there.
There we go. How are you?
I'm good. I just found out it won't work on my laptop. I have to be on my phone.
Ah,
It doesn't give
yeah.
a request to join on my laptop. So, hi, Jared. I'll
Hi,
work it out
welcome,
any
welcome.
moment.
No problem.
Thanks.
Well, this is my very good friend, Alison Armstrong. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with her work, but if you're not familiar with her work, you need to be. And it's something I was sharing with Allison, you just before we started here, just to give people a little insight to how important your work is. Um, you know, I was trying to figure out relationships for a good majority of my youth. Got all the way to a point where I just couldn't figure it out. And every relationship I had lasted about 3 months long. And it looks like we have some fans. Oh my God, I love her. I have all her books. Wonderful. Um, and, and so I just got to a place where I sat down and I'm like, okay, I need to learn a lot more about this subject called relationships. And you were one of the first people that had information that was game changing.
Hmm.
Game
Thank
changing. And it was the difference between like learning checkers and chess. Like there's a lot of other dating or relationship stuff that's kind of like checkers. It's basic, it's useful, it's good to
you.
know. But when I stepped over and started learning from you, it became that like, whoa, okay, these things I didn't even know existed. And now that
Yeah.
I know, things opened up amazingly. So I'm going to be quiet. Hopefully that's a good introduction.
Wow.
And I
That's sweet.
I'd love the opportunity for you to share with everyone here, you know, the work you do and the magic behind it and really truly how to help them kind of set the foundation and just I'll preface this. This works
Yeah.
for people who are single and looking. This works for people who are dating, and this certainly works for people who've been married many, many, many years. Anyone I've ever shared bits and pieces of your content with, and I shared it one time on a cruise ship, just a couple snippets, and I had a 14-year-old young person run up and go, "Oh my God, that was amazing." And then I
Yeah.
had two 82-year-old ladies say, "I came here to entertain myself and just think, what could he possibly know about relationships?"
Yeah.
I stood and took notes the entire time. That was groundbreaking, and it absolutely gave us masterful insights we needed. Thank you.
Wow.
And I was like, I wish I could take the credit. I'll tell you who it's from, and you should certainly go read the rest of her work because it's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. Wow. It's interesting, Jairek, when we started our workshops in 1995, and we had a goal of reaching 1 million Americans.
hmm,
And but our workshops were limited to 16 women at a time. And they were limited because back in 1995, women were what we called angry and vengeful. Yeah, they were so mad at men and gonna punish every man for anything that any one man did.
hmm,
And in order to deal with that level of emotion, right, and that level, that kind of mental intensity, we limited the workshop, right? But we figured we would get to 1 million people. We called it the gab factor, right? That the information was so interesting, people couldn't help but tell people about it.
right.
So I didn't know you would be one of the people that I could count on, right? And now we know we've reached millions and millions of people. And thank you. Thank you very much, because we are mission driven.
Yeah.
And could I just say this right off the bat, in case there's any tension, Jairek? People might think we're going to sell them something, and we're not. We're going to give them something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to talk about, you don't have to worry about, oh gosh, how much am I going to have to pay for it? Because of my relationship with Jairek, we're giving it to y'all. We're just giving it to you. 48 hours to go collect it and 6 days to use it. And we're going to give you some of the most important things that I have learned about men and women in the last 29 years. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So now where do I go? Jairek, what would you ask me?
Well, my goodness, I checked right before you got here, and I'll check again. Who's married? Who's single? Who's dating in here? And it was interesting. I saw lots of single, lots of married, lots of dating. And I guess where I would start is, and it's something you said earlier to me, which is there's something you created, which was understanding women. And when I saw that program, I was like, whoa, this is going to be amazing. Like, I would love to know where I'm missing here.
Yes.
But you said something that was so important is men get excited to learn about, like, whoa, that's how I can win. Oh, that's how it works. Oh, that's why these things are the way they are. But how important is it for women in this program? Like, do women, I mean, could women possibly learn more about themselves in a program like that?
Well, they do. In fact, it's why we encourage couples to get individual copies so that you can have your own individual experience, because it's normal, and you'll see it in the videos. It's normal for women to be moved to tears to find out that something they thought was personal, something that they thought was just wrong with them, isn't. That it goes with the ovaries. It comes with ovaries. They're not crazy, and they're not broken, and they're not defective. There's nothing wrong with them. It comes with the estrogen. It comes with the ovaries. The way that our hormones shape the development of our brains shapes the way that we think and process information. And Jairek, men and women don't even have the same vision. We literally don't see the same way. And there's this other thing. Okay, so, and this is what has women sometimes feel crazy and men wondering, what the heck am I dealing with here? Imagine if you had a Mac computer and a PC, right? So you have a Mac and a PC. The keyboard looks mostly alike, right?
Yep.
So if you're typing something into the PC, you would think it would arrive at the Mac and communicate.
Seems
right?
fair.
And vice versa, it seems fair, right?
Yeah.
Except for, I mean, it's an excellent metaphor for what we call hunting mode and gathering mode, right? So hunting mode, problem solving, result producing, oriented, quite linear, right? Linear, direct, even an economy of words, if you will, words, numbers, thoughts, structures, right?
Yep.
And I mean, it's all around get her done, right? Get her done, get her done, get her done, right? The Mac is for artists, right? It's intuitive. It has a feel to it. It has all these options. Do you want to do it this way or that way? What about this possibility? Consider this. Well, that's congruent with what we call gathering mode. So hunting mode is focused and committed and set on a specific goal or intention or destination, right? Get to the restaurant. This is messes up a lot of dating, right? He's driving, he's going to get her to the restaurant. She's over there on the other side trying to connect. He's not talking because he's going to get her to the restaurant. And she's talking and talking and getting no response from him. Yep. And thinking she's failing, and why did he ask her out? Because he doesn't really like me anyway, he doesn't care about me, and I should just get out now. Forget this. having no idea that he's completely in this protect her, make sure she gets there safe, provide for her, you know, get a seat, sit down, organize my silverware. Now, hi, I'm here with you, right? She has no idea about that. What he has no idea about, and she doesn't either, is that because of the way that women's brains are shaped by estrogen, which, by the way, fluctuates throughout the month, right? Up to 25% more estrogen on some days than others, which means way more connective, way more diffuse awareness. And that we literally, as a woman, we can be in like this open, connected possibilities, options, alternatives kind of mode. It's very spacious and lovely. And then someone can say one word, and all of a sudden we're a PC. We're just switched. We're just switched. All of the beauty, radiance, graciousness, compassion disappears, and now we're going to get her done.
I'm seeing some of the comments here. I'm seeing this. One of the gentlemen put this comment. Like, oh.
Yeah. And the hard thing for me is that it was about 2008, we recorded and produced on video the first Understanding Women course. But at the time, I only understood women in the gathering mode, in the open, connective options and possibilities mode. And then within 5 years, it was clear that most women spent most of their time in hunting mode.
Huh.
Yeah. And so we were teaching men and women how to interact with a woman in gathering mode. And it works brilliantly in gathering mode, what we teach. Do not work. In fact, they blow stuff up because it's literally a completely different way of thinking, of relating to words and communication. And I mean, when a woman is in gathering mode, what helps her feel safe is connection. It's all about connection. But when she's in hunting mode, she's just like most men, which most men are in hunting mode most of the time. Well, it's not about connection. It's about producing results. And the more you respect me, the more results I can produce. So if you're interrupting me to connect, you must not respect me.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Sure.
So yeah, we had to redo the whole workshop. We had to put in all these different things. And like in Understanding Women, we talk about female sexuality, right? And how do you, I mean, I'm a big proponent of couples having enough sex, and most couples don't. And it's so needed physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, individually, as a couple. And we're lost. We have no idea how to cause that to happen in a way that works for both people. So I counted it up. Let's see, there's 15 sessions, and at least 5 of them directly deal with female sexuality and all the things that contribute to a woman being receptive to sex, right?
Yeah.
And then all the other ones add up to it anyway, because if you're not listening to her in the right way, ain't nothing gonna happen, honey. And so, and we had nothing about sexuality in the first video. In 2008, I didn't even talk about it, let alone menopause and maternal instincts and what the heck is happening with this, you know, this foot tapping, the clock's ticking, you know, we got to make a baby stuff.
Yep.
It's pretty funny. But one of the sessions in Understanding Women is about how do you support a woman in getting enough sex. Oh, we have a horn honking. I know it's
We
not
do. That is not me. Sounds like someone's locked out of their car out there. Someone says, this is the first time I know about Alison and I love her already. So it sounds like what you're saying is resonating. If it's resonating, can you give me a thumbs up in the comment section if this is resonating with you?
Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. Yeah, so we have a whole section on how do you support a woman in having enough sex, and it's divided in columns depending on if she's in hunting mode, right, or gathering mode. How you approach it is different.
Hmm.
And how you help a woman feel safe, what has her feel supported, what has her feel appreciated. Everything's different depending on what mode she's in. And I
Wow.
think my favorite session, we call the signs.
Yep.
And it's how do you tell which mode she's in?
That's what I was wondering. Is there a cheat sheet to this? Is there a mood ring she can wear? So I just look at the color from the other side of the room to see what's going on.
Yes, yes, almost like that. Here's the best way to do it, Jairek. And by the way, I saw the baby bump pictures. Do we have a baby
We
out yet?
do.
Or we do?
We got a little one coming. And I'll throw this out there. This is an interesting situation going on. And this is personal. So if my wife comes in here and whacks me, then I'll know I probably wasn't supposed to say that out loud.
Yes.
My desire for sex changed dramatically the more pregnant she has become, because my desire to protect her has gone to the moon. Oh, she says, oh my God, do not. Okay, this might not be the good topic to talk about. And I might get whacked for saying that out loud. And so there's a couple things that happen,
Yes.
which is the concept of, I was like, wow. And luckily, we've learned through a lot of your work how to have a lot of dialogue, how to over communicate what's going on. She said, just kidding, it's okay. Good. I got permission. We're good.
Thank you.
and so it was very interesting. Very interesting. It is the thought process around like, wow, I didn't know it would change.
Yes.
I've always heard from women mostly saying, all guys want is sex. All they want is sex. All they want is sex. And then all of a sudden they have this feeling inside of me as a man to be like, man, I don't know if that's what she needs right now. Like if she's going, oh, my back's a little sore and my hips are a little sore, it doesn't feel like sex is the answer for that kind of soreness. Now, some men might disagree, but in my mind, I'm like, I don't think that's going to help her feel less sore.
Yeah.
And so with that thought process, it changed. And it might, because of what ends up happening, I might need to clear a few people out of here. Hold on one second. There we go. There's one. There's two. 1 second here.
Join the cult. Interesting. All right.
There we go. We'll clear these spammers out real quick. Not sure where they came from. Nope, gone.
Hey, spare the eggplants, you guys.
And gone. One more. And gone.
Wow.
With gone. And gone. Okay, we should be back to normal now. I think I cleared them. Oh, no. Gone. Okay, now we should be back to normal. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I didn't even know that could happen. How rude.
I just learned as well.
Oh.
And so the concept that it changes, and also the concept that just like what men can say to women, that might change how she feels in the moment. I think there's also the concept of what women can say to men that might literally take them from interested in making love or having sex to absolutely being destroyed and not even having the energy or it's like it knocks the life out of them sometimes.
Yeah.
And I don't think women know how powerful some of those words are. And I don't think men know how powerful some of those words are.
Yes. And also, one of the biggest things that I have seen is women, we're so worried about being attractive that we don't notice how much it matters to you to be attractive to your wife. Right? That, and there's a section in Understanding Women. I call it when there's not enough lead in the pencil.
Hmm.
And this downward spiral that couples get into, because inevitably on some occasion, there will not be enough lead in the pencil, especially because nobody knows what puts lead in the pencil in the first place, which we clear that up. But there's this downward spiral where a woman will want to not express desire for her partner if she thinks that he may not be able to perform, and she doesn't want to make him feel bad by wanting something he can't provide. This is a classic. Women won't even tell their men what they need if they think he can't provide it. He doesn't even have a chance to provide it. He never finds out about it. Yeah. Okay, let me back it up a second. So what'll happen, Jairek, is I call it the what and the how problem. So someone needs something. There's a what that someone needs. Both men and women do this to their partners. So they think of what they need from their partner, and then they go, but how could they possibly provide that? How could they possibly provide that? And if they can't think of how their partner could possibly provide it, they never tell their partner that they need it.
Ooh.
Yes.
And it's pretty hard to get what you don't know someone wants.
Exactly. Exactly. So for example, instead of you deciding for your wife that she can't participate intimately, if you told her you would like that you're desiring that, and then let her, who has 1,000 times more information about her own body at any moment than you do, let her figure out how.
Ooh.
Right? This is what I'm looking for. I want to be close to you in this way. And then let her figure out how we could do this, or we could do it like this. So in other words, you let the provider, the person who's going to give something, figure out how they can give it in the way that works for them. And they have all that information, right? Well, the person who needs something is the one that figures out and expresses what they need, because they're the one that has all that information.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So it seems like it would work much better than the way we normally try.
Exactly. Because there's so many, one of the ways that we diminish another person's ability to produce results, otherwise known as emasculation, is by not giving them quality information. And the quality information is I need, and then fill in the blank. Now, Jairek, this isn't because there's anything wrong with this. There are tremendous human instincts that compel us to not tell anything that we need. That's to reveal weakness. And to not ask what somebody needs, because to not already know reveals a weakness. So we don't ask or tell what we need. And then add to that, like the cultural, don't come to me with a problem, come to me with a solution. Really? Men love solving problems. Come to men with problems.
It's true. It's very true.
Exactly. You come to a man with, okay, I figured out something I need, and I figured out how you're going to give it to me. Really? That's no fun. And besides, when we make a plan for another person, the odds of it working for them, yes, look at that face.
Oh, those are painful. I think one of my favorite phrases is you can ask him for what you want, or you can tell him how to do it. Yes. But you can't get both.
Not both.
Now, I did the global sin of the program, which is, I told you, as I ran across the house I'm like, you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this. I told you that. That's what not to do when listening to the program. Instead, I've learned it's to go, oh, that's why I behave like that when that happens. Yes. Ooh. Yeah. And then to patiently wait and say, did you hear anything in chapter 2 that sounded interesting?
Exactly.
And allow her to discover it on her own. Otherwise, I learned the first way didn't work. It ended up pretty bad.
The elbow and the ribs, it doesn't really work. And what you're speaking to, Jairek, that is so important is partnership, right, which is what a lot of people crave, is real partnership. Partnership is based in accountability. But, and we all want to be entrusted to be accountable for certain things. And we all have things that if our partner would be accountable for that, it would be the hugest gift, right? But as soon as you tell someone how to do something, they can't be accountable. They're just an implementer. They become accountable when you say, this is what I need. Are you willing to provide it for me? And is there anything you need from me? And they kind of walk around it and look at it and pick it up and go, yeah, I know how to do this. Right? And then it's theirs. Right? And those are the things that both men and women will generate again and again, and especially men. Ladies, if you want the men in your life to generate, you got to let them be accountable. And you also have to appreciate them. And you have to, you know, Jairek, you know this. The way one man put it was, why do I get 100 points or 0? Why don't I ever get 80? Right? And it's because of the way that a woman's mind works. Which is the opposite of a man's mind, which actually is to our advantage, ladies. So for example, Jairek, men are fed by beauty. Beauty is nourishment, right? Right. And watching your wife's belly get bigger and bigger, and all these new dimensions to her beauty, it's nourishment. Well, women were wired the other way. Your brain is going to screen out everything that isn't beautiful to it. What would be the point of focusing on what isn't beautiful? You're nourished by what is beautiful. Our brains focus on everything that's wrong, everything that's not done, everything that wasn't perfect, right? Every flaw. Our brains focus on flaws because we think if we fix the flaws, then we'll be perfect, then you'll love me and you'll save me. We have literally opposite wiring. So when a man does something, a woman isn't seeing everything he did, right? Everything he did well, everything he did better even than she asked. What is glaring at her is what he didn't do. Oof. I know, it doesn't turn out well. And then she talks about it. She's compelled to talk about it. Her instincts tell her we've got to address that or something bad will happen. No, the bad thing that'll happen is if you don't address, you know, wow, honey, you did the dishes. Wow, honey, you took out the trash. Wow, honey, I know you're organized to do big things, and thank you for all the little chicken shit things that you did today. Yeah. Each one of them gave me another moment of peace, and peace is everything. Thank you. Because you're not organized to do little things. But our minds, the diffuse awareness mind, is organized to do little things because every little thing that gets done is now quiet and leaves me be. And you want to be accountable for big things.
I think my favorite description of men and women is just a simple one where this matters is a man thinks buying, 24 roses on one day that's good enough for the next month. He bought 24, there's 24 days. She got one all at once and bingo, she's good for the month. And I think you said it best when a lady would rather receive one rose each day for 24 days because it's the little signal that he cares each day and he still chooses her over everything else that's going on. And it's funny, that little thing and big thing piece in the man and woman's mind is very different. I think what you just talked about, how loud the environment is.
Yes.
I think that's something that's come up time and time again with a lot of the people I've worked with in a one-on-one coaching capacity.
Yeah.
Where, these are really powerful business people who've done a hell of a job at building business, and they've always been in control. They've always been driving things. They've always made things happen. And then all of a sudden they're in a relationship and they don't understand what to do. And they don't understand, like you said, that there's clearly a difference going on here.
Yes.
Like they do what they think they would want and it doesn't work. It just flatline, flat on their face and they don't know why.
Yes.
And one of the things, you talked about was how loud the environment is. And that's a very, very interesting fact for men because we don't know that. If there's something on the ground, like, yeah, I'll get it tomorrow, no big deal. And we don't realize how much noise that creates in someone's life,
Yes.
especially to someone we really care about. Maybe we can share that with them just real quick, just so I think it's something that stands out, and it's very powerful. The other piece that I really want to share with people, second piece, I want to share everything with them. That's why.
Share everything. You want to share all 11 hours of video with them.
That's right. I'm very grateful. So
giving it to them, huh?
just to pre-frame this for everyone watching, at the end, I'm going to give you guys a link that Alison has shared with us that gives you access to 11 hours of training on understanding women for free. Normally, this is, I think, a $500 program, and I hope I'm accurate on that number. It might be more. But she said, you know, for 48 hours, we can give you a code. You can go grab it for free, and then you have 6 days to get through the 11 hours of content, which is life-changing. And there's so much goodness in here. The other one, I'm pretty sure it's in this program, promise versus possibilities.
That's actually, wow, we have so many threads here. Okay, I never finished telling you about the signs of a mode, the mode that a woman's in, because we started talking about your wife.
That was my decoder ring. I need that.
Exactly. So we'll come back to that, and we can talk about loud environments, because, and this is so helpful to women because they think they're procrastinating and they beat themselves up about it. So we can fix that one. Possibilities versus plans and promises. We talk about an in sync with the opposite sex.
Ooh,
because that's a big blow up for, especially for singles, but throughout relationships, where one person's speaking possibilities, the other person thinks they're promising to do things. When they don't come through with the thing they heard a promise, they think that person's, you know, just full of it and can't be trusted. But they weren't speaking promises. They were just saying, wow, my mom would love you, right? And she's thinking, oh, I'm going to meet her mother. I'm going to meet his mother. Oh, I'm going to meet his mother. You meet someone's mother right before someone proposes to you. Oh, wow, we're really far down the line here. Okay, you're gonna take your profile down off of the online dating, right? And he's like, what are you talking about? We just met. Yeah, it all blows up. That's in sync with opposite sex. Okay, go back to signs, or do you want environments first?
The signs, please. I want to take note. I need this decoder ring.
Okay, so the easiest way to tell, and I asked about your wife and if the baby had been born yet, because your wife will be especially this way, but a little wonky. So the easiest way to tell is how a woman is moving. Okay, so when we're in hunting mode, everything is focused and going somewhere. We take the shortest route, just like most men would do, right? Yep. It's very direct. We're going the shortest route. Our hips and our legs actually are just moving step, 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 step. When we're in gathering mode, not only do we not take the shortest route, we might be on our way somewhere. We're carrying something. We see something, we're pulled over there. Now we're carrying another thing, and then we're pulled someplace else, and now we get, and we end up, and you're like, where is she actually going? She's zigzagging through the house. Is she ever going to get anywhere? And what else will happen is when a woman is in gathering mode, our bodies literally shift from this direction to this direction. So our hips sway from side to side. Everything about us is more meandering like. Now I asked about your wife because the hormones in her body have literally loosened her ligaments. That's why there's a pregnant waddle, because her hips are not tightly wound anymore. She can't really move like a hunter. Which is one of the reasons why when a woman's about 6 months pregnant. Oh, wait, I have to do, there's something, am I too loud? I keep hearing something. There's some feedback and I'm wondering if it's my fault. Is it my fault?
You're coming through great on this end.
Okay, let me just try over here. I might have something on too loud.
Couple little pieces here. Alison is amazing. Without her influence, I might not be married to my husband. She helped me find the courage. And someone
Isn't
else is
that
saying,
weird?
how do we shift to gathering?
Oh, isn't that awesome? I can talk about that. Um, oh, and I have to tell you something else about when is the baby due?
June 27th.
June. Oh, so we're right in time. Okay, so right around 6 months pregnant, our bellies are big enough and our ligaments are loose enough that unconsciously we register that we can't run away fast enough. We could not escape a tiger.
Wow.
So at that point in a pregnancy, what's really common is for a woman to be like nailing down commitments from people. Who can she count on to protect her and her baby and to provide for her and her baby? And anywhere that someone may be unreliable, like a husband who sometimes does that and sometimes doesn't, it becomes a really big deal. Like if you're not reliable for that, I might die because I can't do this myself anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, so it can cause a lot of conflicts that nobody really knows the source of it. It's heightened fear because our already awareness of being the smaller and weaker gender is now heightened by I can't run away. I can't escape.
Interesting. I mentioned, we had this talk a few days ago, believe it or not, without knowing this. This is very, very useful. There were things that were turning into much bigger things than they normally do. And my instincts, based on everything I learned from you, said, I think because you're such a powerful woman and you've been able to accomplish so much on your own, this might be the very first time in your life where you're unbelievably dependent on someone else, which is specifically me right now. Which means there's anxiety around it, there's fear, there's uncertainty, but then there's this like, do you got me? Like, are we good? Are you happy? Are we cool?
Yes.
Even so much as, you know, someone who I would chat with a friend or something, and normally she'd be like, yeah, great, how are they doing? And I could tell now that friend would chat with me and she'd be like, whoa, what's going on? Who's that? What are you guys talking about? Why are you talking?
Yes.
And I was
Yes.
like, oh, okay.
Yes.
I need to tone that down right now. And it's not because anything's going on. It's purely because I need her to know I'm all here, 100%, everything, you got me and I got you.
Yep.
And that's a huge little shift there. But this is very, very useful information.
Well, and thank you for sharing that. And if you combine that with your hesitancy to generate intimacy because you're don't want to poke your baby in the head.
That's true. We've had that discussion. I certainly don't want to accidentally poke this guy in the head. I'm pretty sure through all my research, I have clearly learned it's physiological impossible for this to happen. But I'm not going to say it didn't cross my mind as a deep fear as a dad. Like, you don't want to accidentally get the little guy in the head and be like, whoa, that's just going to create some weird trauma.
If you're hesitating to express that desire for her, that makes her feel less desirable, which then makes her afraid, right, for who is more desirable. So again, you expressing desire and let her work out the how will solve a lot of problems, right? That she's still the most beautiful, attractive woman in the world will solve a lot of problems. Okay, just between you and me, nobody else is really listening.
You won't know.
And on top of that, Jairek, when your baby's born, there's a hormone in your body that will release that will actually suppress your sex drive.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, which is convenient because there's about 6 weeks where the doctor's going to say, no, don't be doing any of that. And you actually will have less of a desire. And it goes very well. You've probably also read the statistics that this upcoming year, you're going to make more money than you ever have before.
That's true. That's true. We're working on it. Even with the economy shaking, we are working on driving things forward like never before.
Yeah, the first year of your first child, you will exceed your expectations than ever before. It's just statistically proven.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a whole session on signs, because there's more signs, including how a woman speaks. There's a session on dependency, the effects of dependency, what you were just referring to, because that also causes women to go into pleasing mode and avoiding displeasing, and we start dishonoring ourselves and sacrificing ourselves, and then we end up emasculating you, and it's not good. It's not good. Let's see. I'm trying to keep track of everything everybody wants to know. So how loud our environment has to do with something we call diffuse awareness, which is the opposite of focus. So not only are men and women considered opposite sexes, we actually have opposing instincts. So we naturally, this is going to sound terrible, but it's true. We naturally bring out the worst in each other.
Ooh.
Yeah. We naturally incite the most primitive, defensive, adversarial behavior in each other. Whenever we're doing what the tension is telling us to do, it's going to go very badly. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with anybody. We just have this problem of our human instincts are not in favor of, they're in favor of survival. They're not in favor of happiness. They're not in favor of love and partnership and generosity and kindness. No, that has nothing to do with our instincts. Instincts are about survival, and they conflict. So the question, let's see. So the thing I wanted to say about diffuse awareness is when a woman knows she has to focus, what we're compelled to do is eliminate as many potential distractions from our environment as possible, which means we'll feel compelled to clean the area in which we're going to try to focus. So often what'll happen is women will berate themselves like, oh, I need to write this article. I need to write this report. I need to sit down and get this done. Why am I cleaning my desk? Why am I putting everything away? What's wrong with me? I'm just procrastinating. No, you're actually preparing to focus. And it's one of the things that women have told me, just finding that out, they stop beating themselves up anymore. They just allow time. I need to start doing that by this time. So a half hour before, I'm going to prepare to focus. I'm going to put things away so that I can just do it. Right? All right. And then there's so much more about it. Like, yes, there is in fact a voice in the pillow that keeps saying, I'm crooked, I'm crooked, I'm crooked. And may also say every time he sits on the couch, he gets up and he doesn't fix it. Everything's crooked. The bottom cushion is pressed down. Why doesn't he pull it back up so it's even? And he leaves the pillow in the wrong place. And if there's a blanket, it's all messed up. And can't he see these things? The answer, ladies, is no. Not in what you guys would call action central, right? You see them, but they are not actionable. They don't matter, right? Because you have a different kind of vision. We call it track vision. Okay, what was the other thing? How do we switch into gathering mode? All right,
Thing, I'll throw this in here for a half sec. There's something really actionable that I've learned, and I don't know if this is normal, you can tell me, where when I learned what you just said, I made it my God-given mission that when I walk downstairs, and I might be in between two really important meetings, if I see dishes in the sink, I clean and scrub those things as fast as humanly possible and get them drying in that rack. If I walk by the couch and I know she was lying there and those pillows aren't straight, I make it my God-given mission to get those pillows as straight as humanly possible and that blanket folded and that table wiped down and those things cleaned. Before we go to bed every night, I make it my job to scrub the whole kitchen and clean all the floors. And the reason is what you shared. It's I want the most beautiful, elegant, amazing, shining version of my wife. And I know there's some habits that if I maintain these habits, I have a better chance at getting her than getting the not great version of her that's being screamed at by the environment around me.
Yeah.
And I went, that's worthy of an investment as a little effort there.
Yes.
And I'm a fight to get my best wife, the best version of her. I'm going to fight for that.
Yes.
And I think for guys, if you're listening, that is actionable. You can say, oh my gosh, if this is what helps quiet the room for her, it's my mission to make this happen. Like, I'm going to put my commando mask on and paint my face at night and go clean the hell out of the house every night before I come up for bed, knowing that I have conquered the mission. And when she wakes up in the morning and looks downstairs and goes, I get the best version of her.
Yes.
So, side thought for men, if you're listening, maybe take what you can out of that. But we'll go back to you. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, no, it's beautiful. And in case anybody's getting overwhelmed by your ambition, if you just start with, honey, if there was one room in the house that was quiet, what room would it be and what would make it quiet? It can just be that room. And, you know, another thing, because I'm always trying to help people have enough sex, is if you want to get a woman in bed, make the bed. Because an unmade bed makes her bedroom too loud to be in. She doesn't want to go in there, right? Yeah. Now, Jairek, you know, to a man, an unmade bed is efficient.
It's convenient.
Yeah, you're tired, you lie down, you go to sleep, and you don't have to deal with all the stupid pillows. So what Greg and I did was, it was so sweet. So we call it getting certified. This is another thing we teach in Understanding Women, right? So we call it getting certified, which means when someone is willing to do something the way the other person needs it to be done. So can I get certified in making your breakfast? Can I get certified in preparing your coffee? Can I get certified in making the bed? So Greg got certified in making the bed, including, I think at the time there were 9 pillows that needed to be arranged just so. And he got certified in that, right? And then you add the stuffed hair and, you know, the bunny rabbit and all that stuff. But so that was how he loved me, right? He made the bed, and then for the whole rest of the day, my bedroom was a place I could be, I could rest in, I could enjoy, I could be found in, relaxing, right? Then what I did is at night, I unmade the bed. I'd go ahead at about 8 o'clock and provide turn down service. So I'd take all the pillows off. And I'd open the covers, and if it was wintertime, I'd start the heated mattress pad. And this was just this way that we took care of each other. He would have appreciated chocolate on his pillow, but I didn't get that good. So I love what you're talking about, because there's all these different ways, right? And your wife being the best she can be, that is a big thing worth doing. And if these little things add up to that, then awesome.
Yep.
Now, one thing though, Jairek, just to check. Okay, so after the baby's born, your wife is going to be spending oxytocin at a tremendous rate, spending it, which means she needs to pay attention, like most women do, to building oxytocin. And we have a whole conversation about this in Understanding Women, because if a woman doesn't build enough oxytocin, she will dread sex, she'll resent an invitation for sex, and she likely won't be able to climax. Yeah, bad stuff happens.
Oof.
Yeah, and our lifestyles generally don't support us building oxytocin, because it all goes back to that gathering mode. It's all about rhythmic hand motions, right? It's all about picking berries and seed heads, right? So Greg was willing always to wash the dishes, but there were sometimes I would say, please leave them for me for the morning. Because I tend to wake up really early in the morning. If I could go out in the kitchen and be alone and slowly, rhythmically hand wash the dishes, by the time I was done, I had a sense of well-being and peace, because I built oxytocin. So there are some things we want you to not do for us, because our doing it actually gives us a sense of well-being. So again, this is why to ask, honey, what would make the biggest difference for you? And ladies, when you're communicating with these, you know, monster hunter heroes, words like the biggest thing, the most important thing, the thing that I need the most, what would make me happy, what would make me the happiest. Those are all the things to pay attention to. They're, you know, we get mad, like, well, just do anything. You can see there's 1,000 things to do. Just do something. No, men are not built to do, they're not built to do something. So the most important thing, and I had a friend visit me last weekend, and he's like, do you have a project? And I thought, okay, when you're gone, what will make the biggest difference in my life is if my baby aspen grove has been totally prepared, which means that we have to take off the cages, we have to spread out this hay all over them, then we have to move 15 tons of dirt on top of them, and we have to make these wells, so because aspens like to drown, and then we have to put the cages back on, and then we have to put the things that help them deal with the wind. That was the thing that would make the biggest difference. It took all day long. I drove the tractor, I moved the dirt, he raked the dirt, he made the wells, he did everything. It took all day. And he was so happy because he was doing the biggest thing, the thing that would make the biggest difference, right? And he won. He won so well that 2 days later he's like, let's make a list. What else can we get done?
I love it.
Yes, and so that was like, okay, the next biggest things would be, right?
I love that. It seemed that you mentioned something, and I got like 4 or 5 questions in a row.
Okay.
A lot of people are asking, please expand on oxytocin building. Is there any other things we can do besides rhythmic hand motion? Some Laura said, sometimes I feel like rhythmic hand motion take too much time, which time is such an interesting matter.
Yes. Yeah. We have a whole session that's all about time. And because it's a woman's sense of time that's going mostly to determine if she's in hunting or gathering mode. And so that question, how do you switch into gathering mode? The easiest way to do it is to cause plenty of time, right? So for example, I'm very time conscious, right? And I would make a whole timeline, and it's 7 minutes to do this, and 12 minutes to do this, and 4 minutes to do this, and you know, it add up to, you know, okay, I have 82 minutes of things to do to leave my home for 2 weeks. And usually I would, you know, get up 85 minutes before I had to leave, right? And then I finally was like, okay, I have 82 minutes worth of stuff. How about we get up 3 hours before we have to leave? And then I get to do what we call puttering. I got to putter it. I had plenty of time. I didn't have to be driven and focused. I could just be la 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 la. Begin something, leave it, begin another thing, leave it, get things underway, have 10 things going on at once. Totally natural for our brains. And still get out of the house, but not be exhausted by the process. And for the person who asked about rhythmic hand motions, just try. For the remainder of the time that Jairek and I are talking, just go like this. And it has to be rhythmic, so don't change. But just try going like this. Just rub your hands together. You may find, now I have a lot of neural pathways for this because I've worked on it for so long, but if I do this within a couple minutes, I will have an enhanced sense of well-being. Just talking to you and doing this. And I mean, there's so many ways to do it. Like if you're an expert at crocheting and knitting and you don't have to pay attention, you can just be doing it. Men, of course, have a suggestion for a rhythmic hand motion. That doesn't count.
I did not see that coming. I was trying to drink water and I just spit water all over the room. I'll clean that up later. This is true.
That one doesn't work so well. But I have counters. I have miles of counters in my kitchen, and I just wiping down the counters. Honestly, I think our housekeepers are having better love lives than ours because they're ironing and vacuuming and dusting and they're building so much oxytocin. And but yeah, just keep going like this and notice if you don't just start to feel better, and like notice you can care about other people more, and you're a little more cheerful and receptive, and it doesn't have to be hard. One of my favorite things, do I have one here? One of my favorite things is coloring, but not like a mandala, not this intricate work. Like I did that from Los Angeles to New Jersey, 0 jet lag.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool. How useful, too.
Yes.
Speaking of time, I want to be respectful of your time. I know I get lost in this subject. I was teaching an event in New York City. I talked all day, got to, I think it was 9 at night. And someone asked, we were wrapping up, we were done. And as we were wrapping up and we were done, someone asked me a question. They said, can I ask you a question real quick? And they proposed a specific question about a relationship. And I said, in order to answer the question, oh, are you there? I think we might have lost her. Just one more. Oh, there we go.
All right, there we go.
Sorry about that. I was saying, someone asked me a question. It was about, we were literally closing the room. Literally, everything was getting, oh no. It says unable to join. We have a gift for you all. We have a gift for you all. And what we're going to do is if you go to, if you give me 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to put up a post in my feed where you can swipe up and, your phone died. No problem. Here, I'll tell them about the offer real quick and I'll wrap this up. I apologize. We had a phone die, but I'm going to tell you something that's really important. We have a free link for you. And, I have a minute left to tell you this. So I'm going to go if you go to my profile, Jairek Robbins, I'm going to swap out the link for the next 24 hours. I'm going to swap out the link in my profile for the free gift that we want to give you. And you're going to use the code HP20. Someone write that in the comment section, HP20. It's going to get you a free copy of her Understanding Women program. It's 11 hours of content. You're going to get it for free. It's normally $500. And we didn't want to sell you anything here. We wanted to give to you in a time like this and support you. So if you go to my profile, it'll be there in like 5 minutes. So you got to give me 5 minutes. As soon as this wraps up, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to switch the link in my profile. You're going to click the link, use HP20. You're going to get a free copy of her program for 7 days. So you have to commit to watching it. And the link will be there for 24 hours. So you got HP20. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go in just 7 seconds. I'm going to jump off here. Go to my profile, click the link, use HP20, grab a free copy. Thank you for tuning in.